Yes. Mayong buntag, magandang umaga, mayong aga. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing? I think I'm unmuted, right? I'm unmuted. Let's remove that. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, guys. A couple of quick announcements we'll make really quick while we get started. People showing up. New and noteworthy. New laptop. So there could be bugs with this this live. I had some issues with the microphones getting kind of set up. So new laptop. My old laptop died. It was starting to get battery issues. It actually no longer hold a charge. So brand new MacBook. So whew, that dipped into the budget pretty steep. But given what I do, I had to pull the trigger on that. And man, what a difference. My old laptop was from 2019. So nice MacBook, really liking it. It's saving me a lot of time, but new laptop, maybe some quirks around that. Still in the bike inquiry. I'm really still looking at a different bike. I really do like the idea of having multiple bikes here. Maybe you guys can join me on some stuff, things like that. Still in the inquiry, still looking really hard at the Royal Enfield Himalayan 450, also the CF Moto 450, as well as still the CB 500X. So still really looking at that. Probably some videos to come about that with those bikes too. Health and fitness update real quick. Man, working out regular. I'm just killing it at the gym. I feel as good as I did in my 20s. I'm just feeling real strong, real vital, back into running again. So that's going well. I got some lab results that I recently did from a service called MaxiCare. Surprising results on that, in particular with my testosterone. We can talk about that a little bit too in the video if you want, but I'm going to be really shooting a video on that because I'm just really kind of blown away by how I naturally increase my testosterone levels. So that's another thing that's new and noteworthy. Travel plans coming up. I'm potentially looking at a trip to Sikihor and a lot of stuff back and forth with Leyte. Mary Rose initially was going to be doing a 2-month internship here in Cebu City. It didn't work out, unfortunately. She's actually back in Palampon doing her internship there. So we're kind of, we shifted like really over a weekend. We shifted and got her back there. And I'm looking at an apartment over in Leyte now where I can kind of split my time in between the two. So obviously a lot of travel trips for me coming up with Leyte and Palampon. Absolutely love that area. Really do love it. Looking forward to getting there. Last announcement that I have here is I'm actually testing out doing one-on-one video calls with you guys. I get a lot of requests to do consultations, video calls, and stuff like that. So I've actually set it up. I'm testing it out. So, we're going to work through it together. Like a lot of things, but there is a link in this video description. I'll see if I can paste this right now too. Yeah, there's a link there, I think. Yeah, there's a link there. 45-minute calls in length. I have 1 morning slot available and 2 evening slots available. Prices are $25 for now. I'll probably jump up to more what everyone else is charging, which I think is in the $75-$100 range, but whatever. As we're working things out, that's kind of the pricing. Yeah, link in the video description, and there it is. So that's all the announcements I have today, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and let's see what we got going on. Yes, can't attend today. Yep, no worries, man. Hey, thanks for showing up and putting in a comment. Still in Leyte? No, I'm actually not. I got back. When the heck did I get back? I got back Sunday. And so we're going to be doing a little bit of bounce and forth, like I shared kind of real quick in the introduction. I will be jumping around from Cebu to Leyte to kind of back and forth there, but I'm back in Cebu City now, and the timing around that looks like, maybe once every other week is kind of when I'm looking to go out there. But man, I love it out there. That footage, that drone footage that I shot, the latest video that I shot, it's all from riding around in Leyte. So love Leyte being out there, and of course, my girl's out there, so I got to be with her. Yes. Grandma, you can play along. Jeff, I saw that as I was watching. It bust me up. Dude, I hope all is good there in Canada, brother. Hope you're good there. Yep. Billy, some more killer footage. Yeah, that's kind of the thing too I like about getting out in some of these more remote areas. It really allows me to kind of mess around and play with the camera settings, the drone, and all that stuff. Like this is new for me. Like my profession before this wasn't videographer or photographer or any of that stuff. I was an IT guy, right? So really just kind of figured it out, but I'm liking kind of how I'm progressing and having having fun with it. So the drone stuff was a good time. There she is. Manamaing. Yes, mayang buntag wapo. Ug macho nako uga asob. I hope I'm not saying anything bad right there. No, good morning, babe. Hope you're good there. Sweetie, I got up at like 4:30 this morning. I just been in my mind. I started the calendary stuff late last night when we were on the phone, and I kind of got up. I started working with it. I think I got it nailed down, but I just been run. So yeah, it's been good here. It's been busy, but it's been good. I figured when I get there in August, you guys can just call me KB, as there's too many Chris's in the group. Yeah, no worries, man. No worries. Yeah, man. It's August is coming right around the corner, man. So yeah, depending on when you get here, I might be in Leyte or I might be here, like bouncing around a lot a bit, but I'm back and forth. I'll definitely be tied to Cebu through February 1st. It's when my lease expires here, and at that point, it's hard to say, but definitely through then I'll be tied here. What I envision is I will keep a base here in Cebu City, probably a small studio, something like that, whatever, 15 to 20K a month, and then keep a base here, and then but have places throughout the Philippines, really. As we're looking at these apartments out in these province areas, Mary Rose is coming up with places that are like 5K a month. I mean, yeah, so let's convert that out real quick. What's that? I mean, that's like 80 something dollars, I think. Yeah, $85. So I mean, you're talking very minimal amount of money to have kind of a place out in these other areas and kind of base out. I'd love to have a place in Leyte. I'd love to have a place in Mindanao. Possibly Negros somewhere, maybe Iloilo. Just have a couple of places around. That way I can kind of ride around and explore. But yeah, man, let me know when you get here. Let me know. Yes, all good. Yep. I think I'm unmuted. All that's working, right? Like I said, new laptop. I'm sure there'll be quirks. But oh well. Hex, what's up, man? How's it going? Hey, I think you were the one of the guys that was wanting to do a call. So if you want, I'd love to test it out with some people and try to get that going, just to see how the interface works and to make sure. One of the questions I have around that is the time zones. So I set it towards the Philippines time in my availability slots, but I wanted to make sure that all converts out. So anyways, hope you're good there, brother. I think you're coming out soon too. Yeah, looks good. Sounds good. Thanks, man. Yeah, big money. Man, the freaking laptop. Oh, I think it was like 3,000 US, right? But man, I really, like I said, 2019 was kind of the old laptop, and it was just time, right? In technology years, that's forever. It's pretty old. How's the blood pressure? No pills. It's so good for you. Yeah, man. Jeff, I'll be honest with you, brother. Really excited about what I saw in the test results. So everything came back fine. Blood sugars, all that stuff. Heart looked good. No issues. Everything's really in range. They ran, I don't even know, different tests, and then I went back to talk to the doctor about each individual one. So really impressed with MaxiCare, the service there. You could sign up. I think it was around 20,000 pesos for the year, and you basically have unlimited access to their clinics and the outpatients and specialists and stuff like that. So it's not really health insurance. So if I had a heart attack or a stroke or something like that, I'd still be out of pocket. But for that day-to-day stuff, just kind of going through and getting checked up, man, I'm really a big fan of what I've seen so far. Really easy access, easier access than I had in the United States. I just walk in and show up, and within 10 minutes, I'm going to see a doctor, right? So yeah, really impressed with that. But no, man, everything's looking good for me, and really feeling good too. I feel, back in the gym and working out hard, and I feel better health than I've felt in, many years. Definitely, pre-accident. And pre-accident, I was in really good shape. So when was that? 2018 or so. I was at a Peloton. I was riding, 3 or 4 days a week. But yeah, man, things are rocking and rolling now. Finally. Yeah, man. What's up, brother? Yeah. Just woke up. You woke me up on what's needed. Yeah, man. Dude, I hope you're good there, and really excited about kind of what you're creating and your plan to come back here. So real quick, everybody, Kevin was out here, about a month ago. Younger guy, right? It's in the 30s, and just, kind of like a lot of us, tired with the life in the West, the dating and all of that, and just the culture, and spent a month out here and then just had to go back. And it's like, just gosh, devastated by that. And but he's creating a plan, trying to get himself back out here full time. So amen to you, brother. I can't wait for you to get back out here. Really excited. Really excited. Sikihor has some good roads to travel on. Yes. So there might be a new bike in the future. I don't know yet. I'm still kind of looking at it. I'm still on the fence. But if I do pick up that bike, it will really enable me to kind of just go. I can ride for, days and really not have an issue. So yes, I'd love to get down to Sikihor. Sikihor is a little bit of a pain in the butt to get to from Cebu, especially if you're looking to bring your own bike. It almost makes sense for me to drive down to Dumaguete and then take a ferry from Dumaguete over to Sikihor. But to get to Dumaguete for me driving down is a full day. So, but a little bit of a pain on that. But I'm pretty excited about getting out to Sikihor. So that potentially might come in the next month or so. So we'll see. Yes, Calendar, the link there. Cool. That posted on both too. I see both the Facebook and one. All right, nice. Kyle, hello from the province of Isabela, Philippines. Hey, I was just there. I took a Roro over from Danao to Isabela. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I'd assume you're in Leyte, right? Yeah, my girl, Mary Rose, she's just north of you, up in Palampon. Yeah, man. Yeah. Bill, doing good, brother. For the first time I've seen your video footage. Yeah. No, I really feel like things are kind of progressing for me, and really excited about that. I still have struggled with a little bit with the music, as Jeff kind of pointed out in one of my videos. Just kind of having that kind of integrate a little bit better, and then choosing the right kind of music. Also, to using that last video, I felt like it just wasn't a good fit. But I'm getting there, right? I'm improving. I feel like, the quality of my videos is getting better and better. So I'm really excited. Plus, I'm having fun with it, right? I really am. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, right? Which, whatever. But I'm having fun with it. I'm really enjoying the process. Keeps me busy. Now that you've lived in IT Park for a while, what's your preference, IT Park or the business park? Man, Steven, great question. They're both have their pros and cons. They both have their benefits. The business park I like because of the big Ayala Mall, which is right there. All kinds of eateries and restaurants. Big movie theater, a big foreign or social kind of meeting places there. So I liked that part of it. It was nice. It was easy. It was really easy to go there and just chill out. But you can get set into a routine where that's all you do and you don't ever leave the mall, right? And that's kind of what I did for a while. So, but you could break that. You can get out. The IT Park is a little more of an outdoor experience. You'll walk around and do different things outside versus inside the mall. The mall's a lot smaller. So, one of the pros for the business park is you've got a bigger mall with a lot more shops and restaurants. So I'm going to adjust this real quick here. But yeah, but the IT Park I feel is a little more outdoors, which is nice. You can walk around. I feel like as far as dating too, IT Park might be a little bit better because you have a chance to interact with more like working professionals who are there, like the call center, that kind of deal. It's more natural. The girls in the business park, man, I'd probably stay away from just because they might be hunting you. But in, the IT Park, that's not necessarily the case. It's not there also, but there's a lot of that going on in the business park. So, but yeah, I feel like there's probably a lot more condo options in the IT Park. So the living, you got 38 Plaza, which, my buddy Britt, I shot that video on with him. It's a really nice, brand new accommodations there. The new Avita Towers, the old Avita Towers. There's a bunch of condos in the IT Park area. I like them both. I really do. I could see the appeal of staying in either one, really. So you can't go wrong with either one. Yeah, you really can't. Yeah, great question though, Steven. I think you just ordered monkey balls. Monkey, but dude, what the hell are you talking about, man? I just ordered monkey balls. Cheap. Please, a video on cheap places to live would be awesome. Sure. As a general rule, if you're in the IT park and you're in the business park, those are kind of the more expensive places to live. If you get outside of that region, just even a little bit, you can save a couple bucks as far as the Cebu City area, right? But if you get out of the Cebu City area, even you go to places like I was in Ormoc, you go to I'm looking at Palawan, and places are cheap. Even on the same island of Cebu, let's pull up the map. Let's pull up the map. Where's that at? I think this will work. Yeah. So here we are in Cebu City, right? So the areas that we're talking about, here's the business park. Is that the crap? I don't have it there. Anyways, oh wait. Yeah, okay. Here's the Cebu Business Park. Here's the IT Park. So these are kind of your more expensive regions. You can get even out of here and you can save a little bit of bucks. But if you get out in the provinces a little bit, like I know some guys over here in Balaban, shoot, man, they're paying next to nothing. I think, yeah, it was like $80 or so for an apartment out there. And then where I was looking at is over here where my girl is from. She's from Palawan. And the places we're looking at range from, I think we saw as cheap as 4,000 pesos and up to probably 12,000 pesos. So yeah, let's convert that out. So I'm just on another page. So as cheap as 4,000, that's like 68 bucks. And let's just say 10,000, and that's 170 bucks, right? So that's where you can get cheap places out, and even Ormoc. And I have to tell you guys, let me get back to my map. Ormoc to me is a city that not a lot of people talk about, that I feel is just, it's one of these cities that's just great. It's got this good population size where it's a lot bigger than Dumaguete, but definitely a lot smaller than Cebu. Just a great town. And here's one of the things I really like about it too. And I don't think I've heard anyone else talk about this. When you're in Cebu City, you want to start looking at some of these cities that you can get to really easy with a fast craft. And those might be cities to look to live in if you want that smaller town experience, right? Ormoc is one of them. It is 3 hours that you can get from Ormoc down to Cebu on a fast craft, and that costs you 1,000 pesos, 20 bucks. Super easy to get to some of these towns. And Leyte is laced with them. There's a bunch of these towns that you can get to on a fast craft. So I think that is a strategy, a living strategy, even a dating strategy, honestly, that you can bring when you get here, as far as where to live, where to be, to kind of get some of these more remote, more authentic Philippines experience. Not that there's anything wrong with Cebu, and I do, like a bunch of guys have said, it's a great place to start and potentially end. I mean, I love this town. I love being here. Your access to medical, restaurants, all that stuff, it's abundant here. So yeah, so cheap places to live, man, just so many, depending on what you're into, what your interests are, big town, little town, proximity to airports, get here to Cebu, stay here, get used to it all. And then you can easily branch out, brother. Yeah, I'm ready for a call. We said, yeah, somebody just did. Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah, appreciate it. We can test it out and see, how that works and stuff. So love to chat with you guys, talk about whatever. I mean, join the lives and ask questions too, right? So, but yeah, absolutely, brother. Yeah, when you're in Manila, you should set up a meetup or a link up to your followers out. You got a pretty big following. Oh, yeah, thanks, PJ. I appreciate that. And I was out in Makati and BGC. Shout out to Mark and Matt, you two guys out there. Although Mark is here in Cebu City now. But I loved my time in BGC and Makati. I liked it more than I thought I would. I kind of resisted that, I'll be honest with you. I just felt like, it was too much westernized, but I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed, I think it's called the Green Belt. I enjoyed the, BGC felt like kind of like Disney World. Felt like I was in Disney World, so that was kind of wild. But just the kind of how clean and painted and detailed it was, but didn't feel like the Philippines. But I liked it. I really did. And I've got Tin down in I can't remember the name of the town, but just south. I got Richard down south, and and then doing some riding in southern Manila, the Tagaytay and stuff like that. I'll be back in Manila for sure, sooner than later. I don't really have anything scheduled, but for sure, I appreciate that. When I'm in there, do a meetup. I did crash Stevens what's that? Philippines Info Channel, I believe. I crashed his meetup just to kind of meet him and meet a couple of guys out there. So yeah, man, absolutely. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. I walked past you and your old girl at Ayala Mall in October. It took me a second to realize it was you. Yeah, no worries, dude. I get that a lot. I get guys who maybe say they've seen me or whatever, but yeah, dude, say hi. I love meeting new people. I love, you can come up, we can talk, we can have conversations. Oftentimes hey, let's go grab a cup of coffee or lunch or whatever. So, if you see me out walking around, definitely reach out and say, hey, Anthony, time to get your own boat. Yeah, right? Yeah, man. Yeah. No, that's not, I've thought about it. I've thought about, wouldn't it be nice to kind of even a big jet ski or something, just kind of hop around some of these different islands. But yeah, no, I would like to do that for sure. Are you, you look familiar. Are you, no, I thought you were maybe somebody else. Yeah, no worries, man, but you're right on. I like to get a boat. I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence to come to Cebu or Thailand. Help me out. Well, Richard, I can tell you a couple things about it for me that were the big factors in the two, because I was in the same thing initially. It was Thailand or the Philippines. You've got your better infrastructure and stuff like that in the Philippines or in Thailand, right? Better food, that kind of deal. Maybe even a little bit cheaper, some people say, right? Depending on where you're at. But English, man, I'm telling you, for me, that was one of the deal breakers right there that got me here, and that ruled out Thailand. Is you can walk into a restaurant, Richard, you can sit down, you can read a menu, you can see the signs, everything is in English, you can hear music that is in English. Dude, there's such a big, that is huge. It's huge. It's massive. And then the people, the Filipinos are friendly, they're open, they're welcoming, they like Americans. And it's not that Thai people don't, but I feel like it's a little more transactional there, in particular, potentially like the relationships as well. And here it's not. English and the people are the two big reasons for me to be here in the Philippines. So, right? I mean, you can go anywhere, Richard. I was in travel and remote lete and communicating with everybody, reading menus and all that stuff. In Thailand, the bigger touristy areas, you might be able to communicate. But outside of that, man, you're going to need some type of translation device. And then reading a menu, listening to music, it's huge. Yeah, that was for me. I still want to go to Thailand. I want to check it out. But and Vietnam too. Honestly, for me, Vietnam, Da Nang, and those types of areas are much more appealing to me than Thailand. Please video. Please, but cheap places to live, or how Mary Rose finds them. Okay, yeah. So she's looking on Facebook Marketplace, as well as word of mouth, asking around. We drove around. So I was there for several days. We drove around and just looked at places, and then called them, and then say, hey, you have any places available with the prices and stuff? So yeah, absolutely. And you could find cheap places all over, but Ormoc, man, I'm telling you, Ormoc looks good. Speaking of places to live, I'm actually moving into Britt's apartment at 38 Park Place, since he is moving to a 1-bedroom. I arrived on the 7th, by the way. Okay. All right. So cool. So right around the corner. I don't think I could be more excited. Nice, man. And Britt's place is nice. I've actually been up there. I really like 38th Plaza, man. It is brand new property. It's a little bit of construction going on, but you got a brand new gym. You got a brand new pool. All of it's nice. You're conveniently located right there in IT Park. You've got a grocery store right on the bottom of the mall there. Yeah, no, it's IT Park is nice. You got Supermercado out there with outdoor eatery, but honestly, it's kind of a pain in the butt to go there by yourself, because you got to order food and then you got to try to find a seat, and it's just packed. And the crowds for me, I'm not so big on like really crowded, packed places. But yeah. Jim Rice, fresh air, Province Girl, sounds like the recipe for both good health and good times. Jeff, it's really amazing. My life is completely different from what it was in the West, man. It's so different. Yeah, really incredible. Yeah, you'll save money staying in the business park in the beginning, because you end up taking a lot of tax. Yes, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Especially where I'm at now, because I'm actually more towards JY Square. And so I usually take a taxi to IT park because my gym is out there, and then I'll walk back. But yeah, you're right. You spend a lot in taxis and motor taxis, but I use the motor taxis, and it's what 30 or so pesos to kind of get back and forth. So big fan of Move It and the motor taxis. You have convinced me. I gave my notice at work today and brought my ticket to Cebu, Mike. I remember that day I did that. I was somebody just asked me that. What was the moment like, or when was it that I decided to move out here? And I remember it was late November, whatever heck year that was. It was late November, and I had to make a decision quick because I'd sold my house and everything with my divorce before, so I was in my apartment, but I had to give 30-day notice or re-sign my lease for another year. And I just did my scouting trip that August, so I'd been back to work. I think I got back mid-September, so this was late November. Was it late? Anyways, late October, late November, either one. And I was like, I can't do it anymore. I'm done. And at that moment, I decided, all right, let's move. Let's get it done. And really, it happened fast. Put in my notice in my apartment. I didn't put in a work notice right away because I didn't want them to fire me. And I ended up working. I actually gave a 3-week notice at work, but my last day at work was early December, and I was out here like December 8th or 9th, I think it was. So really happened really fast. One of the things that made it so easy is I found an estate sale company that basically came in and forklifted all my stuff, man. So easy. I didn't make as much money as I could if I sold stuff individually. I actually tried to. I had some really nice softball bats and stuff like that I'd spent hundreds of dollars on. I was like, yeah, I tried to sell these, make a couple bucks. Nobody would pay anything for any of that stuff. So thankfully I found an agency. I said, here's my keys to my car. Here's my keys to my apartment. Bye. Grabbed my suitcases and left. And they cleaned it all out. They did a quick sweeping of it, and then I had cleaners come in afterwards. But yeah, man, I remember that day. Yeah, good luck. Scary but exciting at the same time. Yes, JC. So Chris, now that you've created a nice community of expats, how often do you hear guys still struggling to adjust boots down? Yeah, maybe culture-wise, loneliness, broken down elevators need to be fixed. A lot of guys struggle around the girls. The dating is where guys can get themselves in trouble out here, and I did too, right? So they kind of either they get themselves in trouble with a girl who's taking advantage of them or whatever, that kind of deal. I see that a lot. Or yeah, a little bit of guys adjusting a little bit, and a little bit of oh crap moments. But for the most part, I don't see it as much. Guys don't necessarily come up to me and tell me a lot about that, but I kind of get whispers of it. I see it here and there, but for the most of the time, guys are really excited to be here. And honestly, the community of guys that I'm with are guys that you are here. They kind of just got here, or they've been here less than 6 months. Usually guys that, I've met, I've been doing this, a year now. Though after 6 months or so, guys kind of go their own direction. Like my buddy Scott, we traveled a lot. He's off in Iloilo now. Dan, he's around, but he's doing his own thing. So, these community guys, they come in and they come out. So yeah, right now there's like 3 or 4 new guys that kind of just showed up within the past week that, are hanging out and kind of talking to. So, but yeah, I think for the most part, guys are pretty prepared. They have an understanding of what's going on when they get out here. The dating is one thing that kind of throws them off, and it makes sense. And it did me as well, right? I hadn't dated in like 5 years, and then you get thrown into this mixture where you have, there's an abundance of dating. So that would be the one thing that I would say that kind of gets people. And then after they've been here for a while, some of these other nuances that kind of get people a little bit, maybe the food or whatever that starts to get to them. But yeah, great question. Yeah. Great info on where to live. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. That's what these lives are for, is to really, where we can kind of deep dive into topics and stuff where we can't really do it in a comment section. And it doesn't necessarily make sense for me to do a video on it, right? But so happy to help out, man. Happy to help out. Yes, blessed morning, my friend. Your sweetheart, Mary Rose. Enjoy your hot cup of coffee. God bless. Salamat kayo. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. And as you as well. Thank you. Yes, okay, big buddy. Look forward to tomorrow meeting at 7. All right, man. One of us gets up at 7 a.m. Yeah, I'll be up, man. Dude, I get up so dang early still. my mind gets busy, I get racing. So yeah, appreciate it, man. It'll be good to experiment with that to see how that works. So yeah, thank you so much, man. Really, really looking forward to it. Would it be great to have, yeah, a link of your pics of the Philippines? Ooh, yeah, you know what? I mean, I don't actually post so much on Instagram. I need to post a lot on Instagram, but one of the things I'm actually really considering doing is building a web page and doing all of this there, posting images there, setting up scheduling there for calls, as well as some stuff like these shirts and stuff, man, I'm telling you, what's the saying is that there's no such thing as bad weather, but bad gear. I really feel like having the right clothes, having the right gear makes a big difference. And, just kind of promoting a lot of that stuff on there, pictures included, would be really cool. But thank you. I appreciate that. I've got a lot of images that I'm taking. I'm a photographer by hobby, and a videographer, really, right? But really excited about my photography, and the night capabilities of this iPhone are just so much fun. I'm really enjoying exploring kind of night photography. Yeah. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. Spot on, Chris. K9. Yeah, I had a business with an ex-wife for 13 years in Thailand. Transactional is the word. Yep. Speaking Thai is a close second. Yeah. Nice, man. Yeah, nice to hear that. And I haven't been. I still want to go. I think Bangkok would be phenomenal. Just the big city, the energy, the vibe. Being around that, I think would be fun. Great place to visit. Maybe some medical tourism if I felt like I needed to do anything there. But, going up north, up to Chiang Mai, outside the burn season, of course, I have desires to tour, see some of these beautiful Buddhist temples. I mean, absolutely, right? Eat some of the food. But to live and to date, I don't think so, man. I don't think that would be a place I would be interested in, really. Yeah. Thanks for that. Yeah, another thing about the Philippines is the overlapping in cultures. Yeah, brother. Yeah, being able to talk about pop culture topics like movies and music, getting surprised that they know what you're talking about. It's so true. So true. I mean, you'll be in a restaurant and you'll be sitting there, you'll be hearing a song that you're like, wow, I haven't heard that in forever. It's just amazing. It really is. There's a lot of similarities, and friendly, happy people. Just, you can't beat it. Can't beat it. Yes, Mike. Go, brother, go. Yes, Chris the G. Hope you're well. Yeah, no, things are good. Things are good. I'm busy, right? I'm just trying to get creative around, YouTube and, covering expenses and stuff like that with that, as I'm looking to buy a bike, bought a laptop. So, but no, things are good. Focusing on exercise, health, well-being, feeling strong, man. I feel so strong. Just really enjoying my strength training. Back into running, trying to get some swimming in, diet, exercise. Actually, I'm starting to work with a nutritionist again, and she's sending me these meals, a lot of protein. So I'm really, really excited about that. Hopefully, kind of lose a little bit of this weight, because eating the sundaes at Jollibee isn't going so well for the waistline. You seem like a city guy, which I am, and I think that is a compliment. You seem to be content in Cebu, right? That's a great point. Good question. Good observation. I would say I'm a little bit of both. I need both. And coming from Colorado, living in Denver, a city guy, but I also like getting out in the mountains and spending some time there, being camping, riding up in the mountains and stuff like that. Similar here. I like being in Cebu City. I love the amenities of the city. I love the restaurants and stuff like that. But I also yearn for the province, the simple, the markets, the walking through there, just that kind of deal. Riding in the abandoned open roads like my last video. I love that kind of stuff. So I'm a little bit of both. And that's why for me, I really envision having a place here in Cebu City, but also having a place out in the provinces. And probably what I would do potentially is build a home out in the provinces and then keep a condo that I'm renting here in Cebu City, and then come back and whatever. If I want to chill out for a week in the city and do some stuff, I can do that, or need some things that I can't find out where I'm at, or, get delivered. So I do like a little bit of both, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I've been a city guy a lot of my, most of my adult life, Denver. But I also lived in rural Kentucky for a while in the 90s. But yeah, Tampa area, But yeah, cool comment. Canines, I will tie you down for money as their deity. Yeah, really, I'd say that's one of the big deals, right? The people and the language. Yeah, yep, exactly how I felt when I sold everything and started a new journey in life. Very freeing, very freeing to just kind of walk away and drop it all. And I did ship like 3 or 4 boxes over here, so I didn't. And I'm not really a minimalist, as I like things. I like toys. I like electronics. I got freaking mics and cameras and freaking you know drones and all that stuff. I do love gadgets and stuff, but yeah, it's kind of starting over. Hey, you know what? Let's move on. I spent 20 plus years in Colorado. Loved it. Beautiful. But to just kind of wipe the slate clean and start over was a dream. Yeah, really nice. Like the estate sale idea. Yep. Didn't cross my mind. Any idea what percentage you took on that? No, what percentage you took on that? No offense. What percentage that was? Yeah, I think it was around. Yeah, dude, I don't think I made crap on that. Like my car was a 2009 Mazda, and it had, I don't even know how many miles it had on it. But at the time, at the pandemic, cars, like, you couldn't get anything. So used cars had really good value on it. I think it blue booked for, I don't even remember anymore, maybe 6 or 9 grand or whatever, somewhere around there it blue booked for. So I think, and that's about what I got for all my stuff. So, but I was just in a 1-bedroom apartment. I had 2 big old, 75-inch LCD TVs, which were, less than a year old or so, at a Peloton. So, I mean, I did have some items like that, but I mean, TVs, they're a dime a dozen. You can get them everywhere, whatever, $100. The Peloton was worth a couple of bucks, right? And the car, but honestly, for me, just walking away with it, just leaving, was so easy. Here's my keys, pack what I want and leave. That made it just simple, right? Yeah. Check out Barrier 10. He's very, very informative on, okay, vitamin E. All right, interesting. Yeah, the dual resident strategy is so smart. Yeah, I wish I didn't sign a year lease. Okay, yeah, man. I'm really I am excited about that, and obviously with Mary Rose being in Leyte, I'll be kind of out there in Leyte in that area, and I love that area. I really do want to go explore Mindanao a lot. I want to get out there and see what it's like out there. But yeah, man, I do love Cebu City, and I'll probably, if I can afford it, if I got budget for it, I'll probably always have a place here and then a place somewhere else, or multiple places. And what one of the things I thought about we could do in this community is, like, look, if I'm in Leyte for a month, heck, guys can stay here in Cebu. Or if I got a place out in Mindanao, maybe CDO or General Santos or Davao City, people can stay there. Almost like this timeshare thing that we can build out. So I don't know, but yeah, man, I like the idea of kind of bouncing around a little bit, especially as motorcyclist and travel around and that kind of deal. It just kind of gives me that opportunity to do that, because it is a little bit of a pain. Like, for me to get to Leyte, I mean, it takes all day, right? And it's just an island. It's really not that far. And that's the problem, is you get on these islands and, you could tour around for a couple of days, but eventually you're going to run out of real estate and you got to go to another island. So, but yeah, I mean, Mindanao, you could spend several days kind of touring that easily, probably Negros as well. But there again, like I said, you're going to run out, and then trying to get from island to island, it's a slow process. Yeah. The coolest minimalists are almost minimal. Yeah. No, I mean, I've gotten rid of a lot of my stuff. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, just even the tech gadgets alone, I would kind of pull myself out of that category. I love technology. I've got, I shipped my Amazon Alexas with me. I got those here, and I was an IT guy for 20 years. And even before that, I love gadgets. I love working with gadgets and exploring them and new technologies and stuff. So, but yeah. Yes, Madame Ying. You don't have a lot of fats like some guys have. I think Jason did a good job as well because I can see the results. Hope you're good there. Enjoy your gym after the live. Thank you, babe. Enjoy your day at work. I wonder, how is it like being working? You know, you're being a college student, now doing the internship. Hope that's going well. Good times there. Looking forward to getting back out and seeing these apartments that you've discovered. So thanks for doing that. I know you're super busy. So you have a good day as well there, Madame Aing. Do you have any knowledge? Do you have any knowledge of increasing the speed to register a new motorcycle? Okay, such as a fixture or tip the right person, buy a new MX and have to wait 6 to 8 weeks for the ride. Jimmy, great question. So, yes, it can take some time for the registration process to kind of go through. And I know what you can do is you can actually go down to, hold on, where was this at? I'm going to be going through this now again. So basically, when you buy a bike, the dealership is going to register that with the LTO office. And that's what takes time, is when the bike gets registered with the LTO office, technically you can't ride it, right? So, and that can take anywhere from a couple weeks to a couple months. Now, when I bought my Hunter 350, I waited almost 3 months. And the reason I waited so long was because they were just transitioning to in this current process. So, but I know guys now that have waited just a couple weeks. So it really just depends on the dealership. What my buddy Britt did is he went down to I believe it was the LTO office, and checked in with them and said if they had the registration there, because that's kind of the step that, so the LTO office will have that registration, and then the dealership reaches out to them to get that registration. So you can potentially cut off that process by going out to the office yourself and checking with them to see if that registration. Now, they may or may not help you with that, but if you're in a super hurry, and I know it's hard, right? You got a new bike, it's just sitting there and you can't ride it. That might be something you could do if you're in a super hurry. But like I said, the guy he just bought a bike. It only took a couple weeks, and it does vary from dealership to dealership. But they tell you 6 to 8 weeks. But from what I'm seeing from the guys who bought bikes recently, it's like more like 4 to 6. But they'll quote you a longer time just so that way you don't go batty. Hit the like button. I saw a couple of guys saying, get your girlfriend in the Philippines, and go, yeah, no, you're right, Hex. There's a lot of guys who get, their Filipino wife or whatever, and then move to a different country, Thailand or Vietnam. I can see that. I mean, I don't know, man. It still doesn't solve the problem that it's not English speaking. And outside your, wife in that kind of small bubble that you got there, you're still dealing with Thai people who aren't possibly as friendly as Filipinos, right? So you've got a non-English speaking, not maybe as friendly people. So you're still kind of, maybe if you're kind of the guy that keeps your bubble kind of small and you don't really branch out to a lot of people, I mean, that might work. I do know people who do that, or I have heard of that strategy from other people. But yeah, potentially that could work. You know what? I'm going to heat up my coffee while we're jumping in between comments here. 1 second. I will be right back. I'm almost caught up on comments too, so I'm kind of flying through them. But yeah, that's something that that guys kind of do, or I've heard that guys do, the strategy that could work. Anthony, I wanted a cruiser, but after seeing the traffic, I'm leaning towards a Honda ADV scooter, but they are impossible to find. Brother, you are so right. I did see one. If you're here in Cebu City, I was just in the main Honda Philippines there in IT Park. I think they have a white one there, and maybe a red one. They just got a bunch of bikes in. So you're right, dude. And look, I'm with you. When I first moved here, I desperately was trying to get a Honda ADV 160. I went all over the freaking Philippines to find one. I went all the way down the Balambang coast because my friend Christine was over there. I went all the way down to Toledo. We stopped at, I don't even know, probably a dozen dealerships and couldn't find one anywhere. And they're still, and this was, a year and a half, almost 2 years now. They're still struggling with keeping those on, in inventory. And it speaks a lot to that bike and the practical nature of that bike, right? So I would keep looking. I think there is one here in the IT park. I think it's a white one. And I don't blame you. I think it's a great machine. I struggled. I was coming off an accident, and I really struggled being comfortable on a scooter. I like the clutch. I like the gears. I like the rear brake at my foot. But if that's not a problem for you, an issue for you, probably the most practical machine you can buy for the Philippines. It really is. Outside of Manila area. The Manila area, you need above 400 cc to go on the interstates around there. So, but here in this region and everywhere else in the Philippines, man, you can't go wrong with that bike. A couple other bikes I'm actually still considering: the Himalayan 450, the CF Moto 450, and the NX 500. And there is an NX 500 there that might be in my garage. We'll see. We'll see. Morton's gonna shoot me, but we'll see. But yeah, you know, if you're actually looking for a bike, that Honda's got another bike. What's that? It's a scrambler that looks really nice. What do they call it? CL or CF? 500 cc. So you know, the nice thing about Honda too that you really want to consider: Honda and Yamaha. Suzuki's probably a third, but Honda and Yamaha, they're everywhere. They are everywhere. You can get that bike service, that Honda ADV bike. You can get that service everywhere in the Philippines. You can also sell it. You know, a Filipino's going to buy that bike. They're not going to buy my bike. Royal Enfield 100 350. No one's going to buy that bike. You know, so yeah. But hang in there. You'll find one. What you could do is, you know, like I said, if you're here in Cebu City, there's in the IT park, you can go there. The other thing you could do is I did a video also, if you're here in Cebu City at the Wheel Tech, you can order a bike from them, right? They can order any bike for you. And I believe that, you know, you can reach out to them too and go out there and see if you can order a bike. So yeah, man, check that out. Yep. Jimmy, hey, Chris, what's been the best place to ride so far? Man, so far, the absolute best place, the couple places, but Leyte so far has been amazing. You know, let's pull up the map. I'll show you where. Add to stage. So this area here, man, you can see it, right? This road right here, just amazing. Unbelievable. That really curvy stuff I shot was all through here. Love this. Right outside through here. And also, too, this whole coastal road is just gorgeous. And then also, too, in Biliran. This loop in Biliran, I've shot some videos on there. That is also, too, just beautiful, man. This coastal road is also gorgeous. You know, surprisingly, as I was riding back from southern Cebu, I think it was this road or this road. Crap, I don't know now. Oh, yeah, it must have been this road. This road through southern Cebu is also really beautiful. So, but I would say by far, my favorite riding so far has been Leyte. I mean, just gorgeous. You got big mountains, you got beautiful coastal roads, you got nice sunsets. I mean, just unbelievable. And traffic, no traffic. Have you seen that video when I shot that one drone over that road? There was not a single vehicle on the road. Just beautiful, right? And so stunning scenes, good quality roads. That's the other part too. Throughout the Philippines, I've never been on roads where I'm like, well, actually strike that. There was one road, it was under construction. It wasn't even kind of a gravel. It was this weird kind of white powdery crap. Couldn't even make it up. It's so steep and that. So there was one time it was too technical for my Hunter 350. But other than that, everything's been paid, and there's potholes, and sometimes the road's kind of broken up a little bit, but the roads have just been great. I also share too that the rain, I've gotten stuck in rain twice now, and both times I was able to kind of ride through it just because it's 80 degrees and raining. It's, you know, it's not like it's cold, right? But yeah, the road conditions, everywhere has been great. Leyte has been just magical. I can't wait to ride Mindanao. I also feel that's going to be really good. I hear a lot of people talk about Negros too, but when I was looking to ride Negros just recently, and looking at other videos and stuff, I'm like, man, that just doesn't look as good as what I'm seeing in Leyte. So, but yeah, great question. Appreciate that, Jimmy. Yeah, thanks for registration. Yep, I'm in the United States currently, but when I get back, we'll be riding Mindanao. Would love to partner for a few weeks. Let's go, brother. Let's go, man. I'm down, man. I definitely am down for riding around. We really want to build a community of riders also out here, and let's go ride. Let's go ride out. And it doesn't matter if you're in scooter, motorcycle, whatever. Let's go ride out, right? Let's pick some of these trips and let's go. Let's go ride parts of Mindanao. Let's go ride parts of Leyte and Negros or wherever. I'm down, man. Count me in. Are you mainly renting or buying a condo eventually? Yeah, great question. So the general thought around buying is you don't necessarily want to buy a condo. And the main reason behind that is they don't necessarily maintain them. I stayed in condos in the business park. Freaking elevator was down for 6 months, so that would concern me as a condo owner. Also too, when I first moved to the Philippines, I stayed in the older Avita Towers right across from the Cebu City. They're run down. They got the freaking siding coming off. It just looks old. They don't update it. And those 10 years ago were the premier condos of Cebu City. There again, if I was an owner, I'd be really concerned. I think if you're in the Cebu City area or these bigger cities, I think a better strategy is to rent a condo and then maybe build or buy a house in the provinces. That's kind of what I'm looking to do. And if you look at other vloggers, kind of what they're doing. You don't see a bunch of guys out there buying condos. You see a bunch of guys building homes, right? And I think it's right. And you can, there's legal ways around it. You can't own the land, but you can lease the land. So you're going to want to hire an attorney for it. It's not something you're going to want to tackle on your own. But you can like, one of my strategies would be buy some land, have it in Mary Rose's name, and then lease that back from her for 50 years, right? And then build a house on top of that. So that's one of the things you can do. And like I said, you'd want to do some legal stuff. But I think that's a good strategy for people. Rent a condo, build a home. And it's kind of what you see a lot of guys do. I want a white ADV 160. Hopefully they have one in inventory when I get there. I do. I think there's one in the business park. And I'll probably have one at one point. There's a couple bikes that I see having. I think the Himalayan 450, I think the second generation of that bike, man, I'm going to have. I think right now it's still a phenomenal machine, man. Really, really good. But I think there's a couple of bugs and stuff to kind of work out. And I think, 2025 or possibly 2026 would be a great year for that 450 Himalayan. I'm actually leaning towards the NX500 right now to solve kind of like the problems I'm having right now. And there's one on the floor. So just kind of waiting. But ADV 160, I'll probably have down the road as well. It's a super practical machine, get around, do stuff. And that way, if you guys show up too, for me having a couple different bikes, having a Honda ADV 160, keeping my Royal Enfield, having maybe another bike, having 3 or 4 different bikes would allow, us to kind of do some trips for just guys who are flying in. Yeah, I'll check it out. I might keep a Honda employee on a retainer. Yeah, trust me, I've thought about it, man. I've thought about it. Here's some money. Let me know when one shows up. But Wheeltech also can purchase bikes, so they might be a good strategy as well for you. But so with the Honda ADV 160s now, you're going to see them around more and more. So I think if you're just vigilant and go to even Cebu, if you go to 5 or 6 different Honda dealerships, I think you'll find one. I think there are a lot more around, or even bouncing out in some of the provinces. Maybe you can go like hop over to Balamban or Toledo. I think you can find one. If they had an ADV 350 in the Philippines, that would be my choice. You're right, Jimmy. And I inquired on that Wheeltech. I reached out to my contact out there and asked her. I said, "Can you order a Honda ADV 350?" He says, "Unfortunately, they're not available yet in the Philippines." So yeah, I don't know when they're going to come, if they're going to come, but you're right. I think that would be a great option for here. I'll check it out. I might need to keep. Yeah. It's interesting. Some of these comments kind of bounce. They duplicate, don't they? Oh, that's right. I got my water going. Hold on. I'm a professional. Yes. I know, right? I'm by myself. Mary Rose, where are you at, girl? Where are you at, huh? Not that I expect you to make me coffee or take care of me or anything, but yeah, too funny, man. Too funny. Hold on, guys. Just kind of getting my coffee going here. Or the water back on. In case I forget, remind me in 30 seconds that my hot water's going. Uh, Joe asks, how old are you? 40. Hey, man, brother. No, I am Joe. I'm 53 years old. I will be 54 in November. Yep, there it went off. I didn't have to wait that long. Yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm 54 years old. Will be here in November coming up. And I tell you, man, I feel great. And I talked a lot about that in that video, the recent one, why I moved to the Philippines, the gym. I mean, I moved out here to kind of focus on my health and well-being, just living in the West and the stress and all that crap. It just was, dude, it was getting to me, right? Like all of us. And, coming out here, focusing on exercise, and it's been life-changing. It really has. When I got out here, I had a hard time like getting up off the ground. You know what I mean? Like I really struggled physically. And now I'm running, I'm working out, I feel great. I'm in relationships and I'm able to be in relationships, right? If that makes sense. I wasn't even sure if that could happen, because hadn't even been in one in 5 years. So my life has completely transformed in the year and a half that I've been here. I am not the same person that when I got here in December, year and a half ago. So yeah, really, really cool, Joe. Appreciate the age count. Mary Rose thinks I'm freaking 30, and all of her friends think, they think I'm in my 30s or 40s, so I don't know. I mean, it could be just like a filter, like, they think Westerners kind of look young as is. So yeah. Thanks, Joe. Hope you're good there, brother. What company is Mary Rose going to work for after college? I just got an external hard drive made in the Philippines. That's where I'm going, right? Made in the Philippines. She doesn't know yet. So she's studying industrial engineering. And, one of the reasons why she chose that course of study is that it's broad application. Once she gets that degree, she can go in accounting, she can go into management, she can go into production and that kind of deal. So it really does kind of open her up to a lot of different professions. The other thing she really considered is she has a passion for math, engineering, right? She really has a passion for math and teaching. So she's considering, going back after she graduates and maybe getting a teaching degree and teaching math at one of the local universities. So, but she talked about once she graduates to go work for a couple years in her industry, help out her family kind of deal. And then, maybe go back and get a teaching degree and teach math some more. So that's the strategy she talked about, really sharp girl, well, highly motivated. So, but yeah, no, she's doing great. And, she really did a lot to try to get this internship here in Cebu City. And then boom, she shifted on a dime like that, right? Where, hey, it was not going to happen here in Cebu. And within 24 hours, she was back in Leyte. And within 2 days, she was actually working because she's got to fill a 250 hour requirement by mid-August. So, that's 6 weeks of work, 40 hours a week. So, she's busting it, man. I'm really, really proud of her dedication and what she's up to there. Really sharp girl. Yeah, look at Joe going for the brownie at 40. I know, right? X, I hear you, brother, man. But I feel great. I don't feel my age at all. Of course, we all think that, right? We all think that we're the same dude as we were in our 20s. I know I feel the same way. I mean, I still feel like I'm a dang idiot teenager. I am for the most part. Yeah, hey, yeah, no worries. Thanks for being here, man. Kevin, I would be upset too that Condo is not kept up. Right. If you pay, yeah, absolutely. You pay the big HOA fee. They're not keeping up with it. And that kind of what can happen around here. And that's another thing of maybe why you don't want to buy a used motorcycle or cars. Upkeep isn't necessarily a strength like it is OCD Westerners, right? I mean, we're so like keep receipts and all that stuff for our mileage and our oil changes and all that. Not the case here. They're not OCD like that, like we are. So yeah, buying older, anything older, they don't necessarily kind of take care of that I've noticed. Now, there are some exceptions. The current place that I'm living in, Rockwell, this place is freaking phenomenal. However, it's also the Beverly Hills of freaking Cebu, and but this place is very, very well upkept. And yeah, So it just kind of depends. There's another one, my buddy James. Shout out to you, James. Really appreciate meeting and hanging out with you. But my buddy James is looking out at a place in Mandawi, and I can't remember what the heck name of that place is, Mandawi Bay or something like that. But that's another one that seems kind of interesting too, that I would keep an eye on. Yep, yep. Jay, hey brother, I'm truly enjoying the motorcycle vlogs. Keep it up. Yeah, Jay, thank you, man. I'm really enjoying the motorcycle vlogs. I love it. I have a passion for motorcycles. It's huge. I love riding. I love motorcycles themselves. So I love it. And Mary Rose loves riding. And by the way, she got the memo. She's getting a helmet. But yeah, I love it. And that for me is going to be a big part of the channel going forward. It has been now for a while, but it is going to grow. And my skill around capturing stuff is going to get better. Man, I can already see it in my last couple of videos with the cinematography with the drones, and then positioning cameras along the road, just kind of really kind of get you in the riding, right? Like with me. And then, like I say, with the different camera angles, the drone, better music selection, better sound kind of integration too. So that is just beginning. I'm really excited about that. Plus I want to incorporate group stuff, like group rides. Let's get us all mic'd up, and let's do a group ride where we're all talking, we're chatting, that kind of deal, right? So yeah, really excited about that, man. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yep. Yeah, no worries. Yep. Thanks for being here. Does your new girlfriend live with you? She actually lives, Christian, she lives in Palampon. So I'm here in Cebu. She's there in Palampon. But yeah, when she was here in Cebu, she stayed here with me. And then if I get an apartment in Palampon, we'll share that. But right now we're actually living in 2 different cities. So yeah. I'm close to buying a smaller 150cc motorcycle, not a scooter though. Will be easier to navigate the muddy roads in the province. Yeah, man. Kevin, such an inquiry. What's the perfect bike for the Philippines? It really, like anywhere, right? It really kind of depends on where you're at and what kind of riding that you're doing. But you're right. I think a nice little dual sport, the Honda, the CRF 300 Rally looked great. For the muddier, more off-road kind of riding that is here. It's not something that I'm doing right now. Everything I'm doing is pavement. It's more touring around the country. But there is more of that there is a lot of single track riding here. A lot of that. And I envision having maybe a dual sport. I don't know, man. I just get up there in age, and I think staying on the pavement might be better. The last thing I want to do is come off the bike and break a leg or something. And which happens when you're in the dirt, right? You come off the bike a lot, or potentially you come off the bike a lot more. I did a BMW rawhide training up in Colorado, and they're pretty much like, look, you're going to come off the bike this weekend. So just let that go and don't worry about it, because it's part of it when you're riding off-road and that aggressive kind of style. You're going to come off the bike daily. So, and it hurts. It doesn't feel good, and granted, you're wearing gear. I had freaking motocross boots on. I had, I was geared up the whole way. So, but yeah, as we get older, that appeal is less and less, right? But yeah, smaller dual sport bike for some of this potential non-paved stuff does sound like fun as well. Wow, I can't believe you're not in your 40s. I thought you were the same age. Honestly, you look like you have more energy. Yeah, dude, so Anthony, a lot of this has changed since living out here. It really has. And then dating, you'd be amazed how young you feel when what you can focus on is your health and well-being. Going to the gym every freaking day, running, exercising, you'd be amazed how much better you feel. And then dating. My girlfriend is 21 years old, man. I mean, that has changed me dramatically, and how I feel and how I look, being connected with another human being, being passionate with another human being. Those things have changed me dramatically. I'm not the same person I even just think about it, how I was December when I first moved here. I was a guy who couldn't get up off the floor, who hadn't been with a woman in like 5 years. It's just complete 180, right? Just so incredible, so incredible. Yeah, I'm 100% coming there for the same reasons you did. Yep. I'll find the BCAA creatine stuff when I get there. Yeah, dude, there's a shop right down the street that I bought that from. And then you can get creatine. I can't remember how much the prices were. I kind of feel it was around 3,000 pesos. Let's look. I'm sorry, I'm just pulling that up. It's like $50 for that jug. Yeah, so it's not. I don't think it as cheap. Maybe it's online stuff, but yeah, I'm a big fan. I've been a huge fan of creatine my whole life, and just kind of doing a lot more, hearing a lot about that too. There's a guy, Renaissance. I can't remember. There's a sports a sports doctor online. I can't remember who the heck he is, but I've been watching a lot of his content, and he talks about supplements that men should take, that every guy kind of take. And one was like a really good multivitamin, which I was like, yeah, the thing where I feel like we kind of piss most of that multivitamin out. But he was like, no, a really good multivitamin is essential to take, especially if you're not eating healthy, which honestly in the Philippines it can be a little bit of a challenge, but there are some strategies around that. But a good multivitamin, and then creatine was another one he really suggested for many reasons, for brain function, for prostate health. I believe it was another aspect to that. But I've been taking creatine for a long time, and then my trainer Jason recommended BCAA, so that's new to my routine. But yeah, multivitamin, creatine have been something I've been pretty big on now for a while. You know what? Let me plug some stuff in here. Hold on. Yeah. All right. Damn, bro, you look great. Yeah. No, thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Like I said, it's lifestyle change. Lifestyle change has been massive. I'm not the same dude that I was a year and a half ago. Yeah. Could you survive if the peso went down to 40? Yeah. Yeah, Jim, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good spot. I'm doing all right. I got to be careful still. I got to watch what I'm doing. Like buying this bike is a little bit of a, oh crap, kind of deal, but I should be all right. Look, when I moved here with just enough cash, and that was factoring in zero growth on that money. Dude, I made over 30% last year. I'm still worth more now, a year and a half, than I was when I got here. So, and that's just to get me to 59 and a half. And once I get to 59 and a half, I've been maxing out my 401k for decades. So I should be good financially. I mean, I got to be careful, but yeah, down to 40 though. Look, right there for me is scarcity, right? And like I still live in this, oh crap, I got to be careful, even though I just bought a new laptop and potentially a motorcycle. But yeah, no, it is a little scary. It is a little scary, especially at this age, right? I give you credit, Chris. My life is good here in the U.S. Home, good retirement, decent 457. I really wish I could pull the plug and move to the Philippines. I love adventure. Well, Jimmy, come out. Come and check it out, brother. Just come do it. Come spend a couple weeks. You've good retire. So if you're retired, come spend a month. Brother, come spend a month. Come hang out. Let's do some rides if you're a rider. And then just see what you feel. I promise you. So there is a type of guy, though, that I've noticed that doesn't really like the Philippines. And that's the kind of guy who doesn't necessarily like the heat. Maybe is like the upper class guy who's not into outdoors would be a guy. And even then, there's a place for you. It's probably BGC or Makati. But, a guy who's not, like, coming from Colorado, dude, you're a little bit adventurous. You're that kind of deal. Those guys all day long are good here. But guys that I've seen that struggle with bugs. They struggle with, they just, the 5-star restaurant, the 5-star resort, that kind of guy, that kind of person. I see real struggle. But an easygoing, adventurous kind of dude, man, all day long, you're just going to love it out here. You're going to thrive. Just absolutely thrive. Yeah. Yeah, man. You'll be fine. Come check it out, brother. If you're retired, come stay a month. Yeah, with Mary Rose having a lot of math, you find her be too on the logical side as opposed to being a normal. Well, no, I think she's a good balance. She's definitely on the logical side for sure. She's really smart. She's smarter than me, right? I mean, I think it's obvious. Um, I'm an idiot with a camera. But yeah, no, I don't. No, because she is adventurous for sure. She's so young though too, right? I mean, she's 21, so she's still figuring a lot of stuff out. But yeah, no, I think there's a lot of compatibility there. She has a passion for motorcycling, like I do, like being on the road and stuff like that, or outdoor nature. She's funny. She likes to joke. She likes to laugh. She's very nurturing, right? Guys, I don't think I've ever been in a relationship where, with a woman who just wants to take care and nurture and be with and be connected with. She's very loving, very sweet. She's very feminine, right? And it's so incredible, so incredible. I've never been around so many women kind of like that, right? Really, really wild. Yeah, no, it's a good fit in a lot of ways. She and I, and then Westerner Filipina, it's a really good fit. They are looking like who we are as men. Like if you come over here as a man and you're like, man, I just can't deal with dating in the West. I'm looking for, more traditional relationship. And the Philippines is a country full of women who are dying to meet you because they want that also. They want a man. They want like that Western man who's there, who's nurturing, who's protective, who's a man. And we're dying for that type of relationship also. So, I mean, it is a really, really, really good fit. Yeah. Hanoi Bay. Yeah. Oh, is that you, brother? We're looking to rent 3 to 6 months at Boracay BGC Iloilo first, and then choosing the place to settle down. All right. Yeah. Good for you, man. If that is you, man, really cool hanging out and getting to know you. I mean, it's really, I meet a lot of guys for sure. When you meet somebody who's been watching the channel, like bringing up Christine and that kind of stuff. I mean, you've been around. So if that's you, I appreciate and acknowledge you. And thanks so much, man. I really do. Yeah. Wide tire or thin tire? Wide tire or thin tire? What are we talking about? I missed it, X. I like, yeah, I mean, that's kind of one of the things about scooter versus full-size motorcycle, right? When you're talking about, because you got obstacles, you got dogs that are going to shoot out in front of you. And that's one of the things I don't necessarily like about a scooter is I feel that, for a dog, you got to watch out, right? On a motorcycle, not that I want to run over a dog, right? But, you can go over a dog pretty easily, especially with a 19 or 21 inch front tire, but with a scooter, it's a little more of a, oh crap, right? K9, 1860 next year. I'm thinking more and more of a Jeep with removable top. Yeah, brother, go for it, man. Yeah. I'm not sure I want to dump a bike now. Yeah, me too, man. I don't want to dump a bike either, and it's common here. It's common. Guys go down. The roads are okay, but you get gravel, you get potholes, you'll be riding along, right? And there'll be 2 lanes here, and then one lane just disappears. And it's gravel, so, riding here has got a lot of obstacles. I'm just glad I'm going 30 miles an hour. I'm not going fast. But yeah, I'm with you, man. The problem too, like in Cebu and really anywhere on this island of Cebu, I don't think I'd want a vehicle. Maybe if I was on the other coast, but anywhere on this east coast of Cebu, I mean, it's just a lot of traffic, and owning a car is just kind of a pain. But a lot of other places in the Philippines, a car would be cool. If I lived in Leyte, I would deal with I would like some type of car, or maybe the Jimmy, the really Jimmy. These 5-door Jimmys look pretty cool that I see out here. Bro, the energy you receive from dating someone in their 20s is insane. Yes, for those who've never had the opportunity. Yeah, it is. It really is. We get a lot from each other, but I can definitely see and acknowledge how much Mary Rose gives to me. Just so much, man. It's really incredible. Really is amazing. And you're absolutely right, Hex. Yeah, just amazing. And then we have a lot to give to her, to help her out, to be her mentor in life. Like I said, she's so much smarter than me, but, granted, I've lived twice as many years as her. There's a lot of life experiences that I can share, and helping her out, right? Like getting teeth stuff done. And matter of fact, she's going to a dentist today, right? So just those type of things as young adults, we all struggled with. I mean, crap, when I was 20 years old, I was eating mac and cheese, 3 times a day, right? Or, that kind of deal. Just, we all kind of went through that phase. And so we really have the ability to kind of help this young adult kind of come into their own. So, but yeah, really, really good point there, Hex. And it is amazing. It is amazing to kind of look at that, and her and other relationships that I've had kind of throughout my time here in the Philippines. Yeah, American is getting crazier. I know, right? Man, dude, crazy. And I saw a little bit of that. I'm just like, look, I don't think either one of them survives the presidency. I really don't. I mean, and it's just sad, and it is. And I'm just glad that I'm here, and I don't have to kind of participate around that. It's just, you're right, brother. I am with you. It saddens me that is where we're at. And a year and a half ago, it's like, this is not going to get any better. It's just not. We're not wired. We don't. There's nothing on the future to me that says, hey, we're going to fix this hatred in this country. We're just not. If anything, we're going to perpetuate it by what we're doing. By putting this type of stuff in office and that kind of deal. We're not. I don't know. There needs to be a Martin Luther King. There needs to be someone coming along who's like, hey, let's fix this dang country, right? And yeah, I don't know, man. I had to get out, right? I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And I felt like I was just yelling at a TV, like watching a football game, right? Rooting for my team, and then watching them fumble the ball on the 1 yard line, and then being upset by it. Freaking, it's a TV. I'm just yelling at it, right? Like, what am I doing? That's how I feel. To me, the whole politics is, I feel like there's nothing I can do as a human other than freaking scream at a TV. I gave up. Yeah, I'm with you. And before that, right? February 6th. I mean, come on, man. Yeah. It's horrible. Yeah, Chris, I spent 3 months there. Yeah, okay. I spent 3 months there this year already. Okay, cool. I've been a motorcycle rider for over 50 years. Still can't pull the plug as you did. Yeah, food is probably the biggest issue, especially in the province. All right, Jimmy, here's your fix for that. And this is a strategy that I'll probably be doing down the road, is what you do, especially in the province, is you hire what's called a yaya, or a maid. What this person does is they stay with you 6 days a week normally. You could do 5, it's up to you. And then you pay them around anywhere between 5,000 and 10,000 pesos a month, which, let's look at that. Where's my convert? So 5,000 is about $85. So let's just say around $100. You pay this person $100 a month. And what they do is they stay 6 days a week, and you can train them to the food that you want. And you can get, all these province stores have all these markets, fresh markets with fresh produce, fresh fish, fresh vegetables, all that stuff. So you train her, it's like, look, this is the type of food that I would like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then she makes that for you. You could eat healthier here than you can anywhere, because you're going to have access to that fresh goods, and then have someone cook it for you. That is the way you eat healthy here. And it's affordable. You're talking $100 a month for someone to do that. Now, granted, you'd pay for the cost of the groceries, but it's cheaper than eating out, and it's healthier. So you can do it here, Jimmy. You can do it, brother. But it takes a little bit. It takes a little bit to get set up with that, right? Yeah. Here, you hire your yaya. You said you give her access to a YouTube channel of the type of food you want, and say, hey, learn these recipes. Boom, done. Scott, what's up, brother? Your energy has changed. Makes me want to do the early retirement thing. I need to get out. I need to get out there. A couple was great. Yeah, get a real feel. Yes, man. Do a scouting trip. Come on, Scott. Come check it out. The problem with when you do it, you're not going to want to leave. You found the fountain of youth, enjoying your video, getting younger and younger in your mind and soul. It is really incredible, especially as I look back over the past year and a half now. Yeah, it is really powerful, right? To kind of have that reflection. I hadn't thought about it until until just now, how much my life has really changed. What it was like December, year and a half ago when I moved here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, really, really cool. Yeah. Any experience with Mocktown Newtown? Sure. I know it's kind of far from IT Park, but closer to the airport. Yeah, Jimmy. So I stayed in Mocktown Newtown. When I did my scouting trip, I stayed there for a couple nights because it is, like you said, right next to the airport. I don't like it. I mean, so there's a lot of resorts. Let's pull up the map. There's a lot of resorts all along the coast, which I think would be great. One second, where's my map at? There we go. So, yeah. So when we talk Mocktown Newtown, we're talking about this whole island, Lapu-Lapu, right? You're close to the airport. Yeah, I stayed, I think, right around the airport, right around here. The problem is that it's hard to get to Cebu City from there, right? So you're pretty much just going to stay in Mocktown, which honestly, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But this stuff here, it could take you an hour to get down here, and especially in traffic, even longer. So you're really isolated to this island. Now, the advantage that this island does have is all along this coast. You've got Shangri-La. I was there and did some videos there, right? So you have access to these resorts that are just phenomenal. They're beautiful, and a lot of them have day use that you can go in and you can maybe even get a gym membership to this gym, and you make it part of your routine where you're at these beautiful resorts. So I can see the appeal of doing that, where it would be nice. But if you're trying to get to Cebu and hang out at the mall or get out and do stuff like that, you're so far away that's kind of the big disadvantage. Another disadvantage to me is when you look at the Mocktown Newtown area. I can't remember exactly where that is at. I thought it was around here somewhere. Anyways, I'd stay there myself. You're looking at a population that is highly Korean. Now, I'm not saying that to be racist or anything like that. I'm just pointing it out as something that's there. It's a highly Korean population, and the food's great. You're going to have a lot of access to Korean restaurants, but the Koreans themselves, they don't really associate with any foreigners. They're there with their group. They're kind of like deer. You hardly ever see one, right? But they're there in a group. They're there together. So you're not. So it's just a big Korean foreign presence that's there. Like I said, it's not good or bad. It's just something that is something that's notable about that Mocktown area. Yeah. So, but yeah, not too bad. I mean, I wouldn't want to live there, other than if that first scenario that I described, Jimmy, where I was actively in a resort doing kind of stuff like that would be nice, right? Like, got a gym membership at Sri Lanka or Shangri-La, whatever the hell. I know I still do it, right? But get a gym membership there where it's part of my routine and that kind of deal. That would be kind of cool, right? But yeah, anyways. You are, sweetie. You are absolutely smart, man. Freaking, the math stuff alone is just absolutely crazy what you're up to. No, good for you. I hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're good. Yeah, Chris, we'll see you in 3 weeks, brother. I know right where you're at too. So, it's potentially you might time it when I'm back in Leyte, but no worries, man. I'm around, so we'll see you, man. Yep. Yeah, dude. The West is violent. The West is violent. It is, dude. And it's really interesting, brother, because you come out here and it's not, you don't have the freaking road rage. You don't have any of that crap. You don't have people yelling in public and fighting and all that stuff. You'd be amazed, man. You remove yourself from the United States and the West, how violent we really are. I mean, seriously, saving face is a big part of this whole culture here. So that means like no yelling, no loud stuff, right? They're really quiet and reserved for the most part. Now, granted, they like having fun, but it's that fun-spirited nature, right? Where they'll kind of be loud and a little bit exuberant. But any kind of like violent kind of stuff, boo, man, it's really yelling. The West is violent, brother. It really is. It really is just crazy, man. Crazy. Here's a fun thing to do in the Philippines. Teach a province girl to use a modern washing machine. Old habits die hard. You're absolutely right, Robert. They love to wash the clothes by hand. love it, and think that washing by hand, they could do it better than they can with a machine. But yeah, Mary Rose has learned there's a washing machine, really nice washing machine, by the way, a front loader. But yeah, Mary Rose likes the washing machine here. Yeah. You don't need a yaya. You just need me to cook you, cook for you. Yeah, just teach me the foods that you like to make because we're different. Oh, you're so sweet, man. You're so sweet. And I love rice. No problem. I actually really do love rice. I miss rice. I miss the breakfast. Breakfast is great. Yeah. See, that's the thing, gentlemen. Is you get a girl, she's not going to want you to get a yaya. She's just not going to. They want to take care of you. They feel it's their job to take care of you. And I explained to her, like, look, you're busy. You got a lot going on. Let's get somebody who can help us. But they're wired to take care of their man. And it's just so, that's what one of the big things about this culture. And that is really different. And one of the things that we really want in a relationship. So no, you're great, babe. You really are phenomenal. Good for you. Just be careful for yaya scams or than actual yeah. No, you're right. There is the you got to be careful. You're inviting somebody into your house to kind of, they can potentially steal stuff and all that stuff. So no, it's a good point. It's a good point. Finding a good yaya is very, very, very difficult. You want to look for someone who's maybe a little older, not attractive, right? You don't want a freaking 19-year-old, whatever, who's super cute, whatever. You don't want to do that, Too funny. Oh, that's funny, man. Mm-hmm. Yep, you got to be careful. Maybe even going with an agency. Do you think it's safer riding with a? Okay, all right. I got your question now, Hex. Do you think it's safer riding with a wide tire or a narrow tire? Love you, big buddy. I'm out. Have a good night. Speak with him. Or yeah, Hex, no worries. So I do feel, yeah. I mean, a wider tire gives you more footprint, more traction on the ground, right? But there's a point where it's too wide. Gosh, I can't remember. The Suzuki Boulevard, was that a bike that I think I rode? Man, the freaking tire was just massive. It was like as wide as me right here. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, wider tire in a lot of ways gives you a bigger footprint on the ground, but also too, a bigger wheel circumference allows you to kind of roll over objects. That's why in ADV bikes, you'll often have or an off-road bike or a dirt bike, enduro bike or dual sport, whatever. You have that big 21-inch front tire. It allows you to roll over obstacles. So yeah, a bigger front tire, wider tires definitely help with going over stuff and keeping traction on the road for sure. In finding yaya, you also need to find someone who's loyal, trustworthy, one, because someone will steal money and do sort of bad things. Yep. No, it is critical and key. And, finding an agency potentially might be the way to go. I think there are agencies where you can do that. I know people, like some of my Filipino friends say they struggle hiring yayas. And yayas here in Cebu City, I think, are more in the 10,000 range. So, but let's look at that. What's that convert out to? 1, 2, 3. That's $175, right? Think about that though for a minute. $175, 6 days a week, live in. Now, what you can do is you can get someone who's maybe even slightly medically trained, and you've got someone you live in that you can take care of. So as you get older, see, these are the things that I kind of thought about, right? Is as I'm older, aging guy, I can hire potentially 2 yayas. I could have 24/7 care. You can have a yaya that works kind of 7 to 7, and then another one that works 7 to 7. You have someone that comes in at night, at day. So for $300 a month, you've got 24/7 live-in care as you get age and get older, right? So, but as people pointed out multiple times, finding that right one can be a little bit challenging. Yeah. Koreans are high so Asian. I'm a fan. They're kind of like Singapore. Most Asian people live with some sort of status or face or quasi racial stuff like we all do. Right. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that the Korean culture kind of looks down on the Filipino culture. So yeah, That's one of the things I've kind of heard. I'd really love to create some Korean friendships and kind of talk to them about their culture and society, because I really didn't really know much about that culture, and I still don't. It was interesting when I came out here, did my scouting trip. I was surprised how big Koreans are. I mean, the dudes are, some of these guys are like freaking 6'3" and 6'4". The girls are like 5'10", 5'11". You know, there's, and you know, so, but yeah. And I don't want to come off as racist. I really feel like everybody is everybody, right? I had all kinds of friends from all kinds of race, gender preferences, right? I'm really open to all of that kind of way. But yes, but yeah, they have a status kind of way that I don't necessarily, it's not like I don't agree with that. I don't agree with holding someone to a particular status for whatever reason. You know, I think you're missing out when you do that kind of stuff, right? Korean American. Oh yeah, Korean American here. I can confirm that Koreatown, and they don't like to associate with non-Koreans. Yeah, right. That's one of the kind of things I've noticed is, you know, definitely travel in packs, and they're very to themselves, which whatever. I don't, like I said, I would love to make some Korean friends to kind of get a little more insight to that culture. Yeah. Here's a modified version of your tip, Ari, of a tip, housing help. Send her cooking foods and a class offered by a government agency called, okay, the DSA Technical Education and Skills Development Authority. Okay. Yeah. Housing help. Okay. Send her to cooking. All right. Yeah. Send her to school. Sure. Yeah, sure. Cooking school, also some like mild nursing stuff. I mean, that's kind of my plan, right? You know, is to do a lot of that stuff. Have someone who can, you know, help out and also be slightly medically trained as we get older and aging. Yeah, the right. Rob's the son, the left steals. It's just so crazy, isn't it? Man, it just needs to change. It's insanity. It's absolute insanity. And that's another thing that's really obvious as I've gotten away. Sorry, I'm just pouring my coffee over here. It's just the insanity of American politics. Absolute insane. I can't believe it. I can't believe these are the two best people that we can come up with to run our country. Poof, just amazing, dude. And I've had that conversation about American politics my whole life. These are the two best people, right? No. Right? I mean, one election, I was like, which one is least likely to go to jail? And look, I'm no saint, right? I am no saint, but I'm also not running for president. You know, it's just like, wow. It's insanity. It's insanity to me. It blows me away that's what we do. You know? Yeah. Yeah, I did hear a little bit. I saw it on the, I can't remember where I saw. I did see, I'm probably on Facebook. I saw something. I don't know the details of it, but I did see a little bit of it. The Philippines is quite non-violent, but oh my God, the karaoke. Yes, the Philippines is quiet and non-violent, but oh my God, the karaoke blasts and roosters and dogs. Yes, Jimmy. So look, actually, I don't have it near, but a pro tip: you want to get earplugs. You know, as a motorcyclist, I actually had earplugs. I had really good helmets that were really good at stopping the wind, but I had earplugs designed for riding. But get earplugs and get good ones. Get ones that you can sleep in. I don't think they cost much, but get them done. Get them done there before you come over. They'll do a mold of your ear, and they're just, that is huge. And you want them. You'll be surprised when you want them. You want them on boats. You want them on karaoke. You can sleep with them. That kind of deal, right? But you're right. There is some noise here. There is some noise, and now it just doesn't necessarily bother me, but the boats. But I am sensitive to loud noises. The boats are super loud, man. And I was actually in a church, and it was so loud I couldn't even sit in there. The PA system. So they like loud. The music is loud, and things are loud like that. Yes, a 19. Yeah, bad idea. Bad idea. What's that guy? There's a guy out of Dumagetti, right? A retired mailman. He would go down and he would just put a sign at the local sorry store looking for a maid, and then put his Facebook Messenger, and then he would screen all these girls. It's just like, oh my gosh, you're just looking for trouble. But that was a strategy that I think I heard him talk about. Yeah, no thanks, man. No thanks. Those are the kind of guys that quickly find themselves in deep and maybe even leaving the Philippines because they're associating with the wrong people, or they ask for problems, right? Yes, Jack. Hey, brother. My own Boontog, brother. How are you, Kuya? Yeah, enjoying life in Toledo? Absolutely. Hope life is good there for you. Yeah, man. Appreciate you too and all your help with the community group on the community page there. So thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thanks for your service again. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, man. And your comment on the VA stuff, brother, I had never heard anyone talk about that. And I need to go back and highlight that, because you made some really interesting points about, and if you want to re-comment on that, it was one of the VA guys was talking about getting access to benefits here. And you made a comment as far as what he needed to do there before, and I can't remember what it was, but if you don't mind reposting that, I think that is key information that I've never heard anyone else bring up before. So anyways, thanks for being here either way. Appreciate you. Old Asian guy and sarongs at 4 a.m. either welding or singing is normal in Asia. Yes. Yeah. Lots of karaoke, lots of singing. Yeah. My ex was Korean, and they do look down on Filipinos and every other Asian group. It's really bad, and what I least like about their culture. Yeah, that was one of the things that kind of turned me off too. But I don't know. I'm open to whatever. It's not like, as I'm wandering around and seeing people and interacting, it's not like I feel any hatred. I feel like I'm invisible, which whatever. That's all right. I didn't move here to be around Korean people. I didn't, but and it's actually not the case. I think I was in Starbucks yesterday where this family, and she was smiley, whatnot. I think she anyways, I don't know. There's definitely something there that I've noticed, but whatever. I mean, I kind of let people I'm an observer of people, right? And I find it interesting, people's behavior, and there is something there that I've noticed. Yeah. When you live on the outskirts of a small city, most days are quiet. Yeah, Jack. Yeah, you're in a really quiet part of town. Yeah, good for you. I like it out there. I like Toledo. I like it. I'll be through your way at some point. I envisioned, originally I was going to go to do Negros really soon here, but I decided it made more sense to go hang out with Mary Rose and Lete, right? But I was going to go through Toledo or to San Carlos and then drive down to Dumaguete that way. But I'll probably do that trip at some point, Jack. So I'll see you soon. I'll reach out when I do. Brandon. We have a channel also, and I hope to meet you someday after we get there. You remind me of my friend Jay from Jay's Philippines channel. All right. Yeah. Cool, Brandon. Yeah. Nice, man. Yeah, for sure. Look me up when you get here. Yep. Yeah. Thanks, Jack. Yeah. No, I really do. I appreciate everything that you do to help out guys who are here, especially in the area of veterans and getting that, because you are a valuable resource to a lot of guys. I'd never heard anyone bring up the point that you made about traveling there. So yeah, good stuff. If you're not part of the Carefree Chris community group, they're not in, the links aren't in my lives. I don't think they are. I could put them in, but in every video by default, there is a link into that community group. It is a private group. We pretty much accept everybody, but you do have to have some substance to your profile, no new profiles. If you post anything that's political, or if you try to sell anything, you're going to get yanked. Actually, if you post political stuff, I'll just remove the post. So just keep that stuff out. We don't really like to, anything that stirs up controversy. We want to help people, right? That's the kind of the intent of the community group, is to help other people out, make friends and connections. So anything that kind of stirs the pot will get removed. If you're trying to sell anything, I'll flat out just ban you. We've had some guys that sell air duct cleaning or whatever, but anyways, but yeah, come join that community group. Jack's a big part of that community out there with a lot of guys. Morton too is a big part of that community group. Late to the party, get your ass off of the tourist traps and start seeing the Philippines. Brother, did you see that video? Huh? I was just riding on freaking Lete in the rain, man. I got bad news for you. I have very bad news for you. You might actually unsubscribe. You might unsubscribe. I'll know by the end of the week. Yeah. When are you back? I'm back. I'm back in Cebu City now, man. I'm back here now. I'll probably be here another week or two. I've got some. I'll probably go back to Mary Rose is just absolutely slammed, dude. She is slammed. She's trying to cram in a freaking 2-month internship in freaking 1 month. So she's freaking hammering out work, right? Hammering in hours. So I don't want to be an interruption or disturb, her focus on getting that done. So I might go back to Lete and hang out a little bit, but I'm hesitant to do that. Like I said, I don't want to disturb her. But I might go to Sikihor and ride around there a little bit. But yeah, anyways, I'm back in Cebu. Yeah, where are we getting the 360 riding videos? I need to. All right, I'll shoot one here in Cebu City. I'll shoot IT Park 360 riding video. The other thing I want to experiment with that, Morton, is I wanted to see if I can like designate the camera. Like, can I just have one camera be in 360 and then occasionally bring in like a front shot? Yeah, Rod, Amazing Philippines, he actually uploaded a 360 walking video through Cebu City, and I like that. It'd be cool. I could see it. I could see a whole channel just doing 360 videos riding through Cebu City. So I'll do more of that because I'm actually all caught up on content right now. So I'll do that. I'll shoot that in the next couple days. Robert, a small girlfriend, fiance, or wife will help you immensely. Absolutely. Philippines runs on who you know. Yes, true. They can really help with getting things done. The government red tape. So true, Robert. Good Filipino will save you money and get you through stuff without a question. Yeah, no, good point. Whenever I find myself walking towards a group of Koreans, walking all side by side, they never move aside except to go around me. Sorry, but I just stopped. Make them yeah. I haven't had any problems. I noticed their standoff nature, but whatever. I see that with some Americans too, right? Some guys who don't really want to be around other Westerners. So whatever. I mean, like I said, I'm an observer of people, and their actions towards me have been nothing but like I feel like they're in their own world. Whatever. My ex was Korean. I'm not due to ill intent. Yeah, it's not due to ill intent. Yeah, lots of history of foreigners screwing over the Koreans for thousands of years. Oh, interesting. Okay. But when I pointed it out, they were very willing to open their minds. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's cool. Like I said, I would very much like to get more in tune with that culture and some individuals as well, just to kind of, just to talk. I like meeting new people. I like exploring that. I would like to go to Korea someday. I think it'd be great, go to Seoul or wherever, right? So many other places I want to go before. Vietnam, freaking Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand. Yeah, and then obviously a lot more here in the Philippines, man. I hope I have time. It seems to me the guy who wins the game over there doesn't end up with a live-in girl or yaya. That if it's a game and you're just playing the field, playing around for young dudes and old fools. Yeah, playing around is for young dudes and old fools. Yes, dude, you just got to be careful, man. I know guys who just get lost in it. They get lost in the dating, and then they start dating teenage girls, right? It's just, oh man, it's bad news. Bad news, because you will get approached. I got approached by a younger girl one time just before I met Mary Rose. 17 years old. This guy was introducing me to her. She worked in the shop. He's like, hey, this girl's single. You should guys go out. I sat and talked with her. She's a cute girl, right? She looked young, but they all look young, right? Even 30-year-old Filipino women look like they're freaking 20. So, but I was talking with her, sweet girl, and came up. I was 17. It's like, look, sweetie, hang out and chat, but I can't be dating, and even then, hanging out with some girls who were 18 and 19, I just like, immediately I turned into like their dad, and it's just too young, man. But you're not prepared for that. You're not. I wasn't, because in the West where we come from, it's just not even an option. But here, you will encounter that, and even outside the younger women, just the guys who just date and date and date. It just, or the guys who are up in Anglo City just going through that freaking mess. Oof, man, I couldn't imagine coming to the Philippines and that's what you choose to do. I mean, to each their own, right? But and that and bellying up at a bar every day, those two things to me are just, there's so many better things you could do with your time here, and to have it to be focusing around how many women you could date in a week, or drinking cheap beers all day. I feel sad for people who that's their focus, right? Yeah, I'd be careful who I'd let in for the day, let alone for a month. Yeah, absolutely, right? No, for true, so true. So true, so true. brother, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I know you're not going to be happy. Yeah, look. There's a Honda dealership in every part of the Philippines. So oh my gosh, I need to shoot a video on this. I will shoot a video on this. I think the Royal Enfield 450, man, I think that is a phenomenal machine. I think though in 2026 is the time to buy that. Give it a year or so to kind of work through the bugs and the issues, get the freaking side stand worked out, maybe some of the heat issues, things like that's going on. The 450, the CF Moto 450 MT, I'm not liking the 2-cylinder 278 degree or 280 degree crank. I mean, come on, phenomenal engine, but the snatchiness down low and the low speed kind of stuff and the light front end, to me, it just kind of rule out that bike. Especially we don't know reliability on that bike. Honda, we know the reliability. Yeah, it's freaking a boring bike in some ways, but it's 2-cylinder. It's incredibly smooth. I can go anywhere. And honestly, for like an adventure touring bike, it's what I need. It's what I need. If you start to bump up in the 650 stuff, I mean, then you're talking bikes. To me, I want to stick in the 300 to 500 cc range. I don't know, man. That close. There's one here, and my name's on the list. They're just waiting for LTO registration to go through before someone can pick it up. But I'm in the inquiry. Anyways, where are we at on time? 150? Okay. Chris, I know you have covered this many times, but what is your monthly budget? Oh, dude. I don't really have a budget. I operate out of scarcity and hope that works. I'll do a budget video coming up. I will. It's been out of whack because I had to buy a laptop, that kind of deal. But I would say, honestly, I don't know where I'm at. I think I have an idea, right? Like I'm somewhere between 2,500 and 1,700 is where I'm pretty sure I'm at. It depends. If I'm traveling around a lot, I'm closer to 2,500 a month, 2,500 US. But I'm pretty much around 2,000, between 2,000 and 2,500. So within $500 a month, I have an idea. But some months it just gets a little bit crazy. Basically, what I do is I take 100,000 pesos out, and I see how long that lasts. Plus, I have reoccurring bills that I pay electronically. So that's how I kind of calculate what I pay. But I don't really track my budget and money and stuff like that. I'll do a video on it because I know it's what a lot of people are really interested in. But yeah, it's not something I really track. And I think it's obvious too on the channel because I've only done like one video on that. But yeah, man. Yeah, I love the 360 ride. Yeah, man. I'm really a fan of the riding videos and what's coming up there. A lot more to come on that. A lot more to come. Yes, we love how your show and your surroundings when you shoot your videos and switch views, refreshing change from other channels. Yeah, appreciate that. What I would like to experiment with doing is maybe what I could do is my back camera, the new X4. maybe I could shoot with this 8K and do a 360 on that, and then keep the front camera, which is my old camera, and then maybe cut in the front camera from time to time. And I'm hoping what that'll do is it'll still allow, when I cut back to the back camera, allow you to do the 360 move around. Yeah, I'll experiment with it a little bit. I'll do a 360 because I do see a fun video to do would be IT Park 360. Like I know I've done I've done a couple, maybe one other riding video of IT Park, but I'll do another one of 360, let you guys move the camera around and stuff like that. I think that would be an interesting video to see. Yeah. By any chance, are you referring to the regular guy when you mentioned sitting in the bar? No, not referring to anyone in particular. Referring really to Westerners who, that I see sitting around, doing that. As far as, getting in lost, dating teenage girls, there's a lot of guys that are into that. That wasn't really a pick on anyone in particular. I actually don't really kind of watch a lot of his content, and I haven't in quite some time. I don't think he really likes Americans. I think he doesn't. Yeah, we don't necessarily see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. I don't really hate him as an individual. We're doing different things, right? So I really don't watch. And no, I wasn't referring to anyone in particular on that comment. A lot of lost souls out there trying. Yeah, see, this is kind of along those lines, right? Of what we're talking about, and some of the big differences, not only with other Westerners, but other bloggers that I've hung out with. Yeah, a lot of lost souls out there trying to fill what's missing with women, drugs, etc. You have to know yourself before dating, but it's a lesson we learn at different times. Right on, Anthony. I moved out here to focus on health and well-being. I didn't move out here for dating, and I invite gentlemen out in it to come out here for similar stuff. Just when you get here, focus on yourself, get yourself in order. Figure out where you're going to live, get all that stuff down, get work on you. Don't come out here and try to work on a relationship, that kind of deal. I think you'll be so much better off if you go that direction. And guys too, they get lost in it, man. They really do. A smaller CC motorcycle was for cement roads. Okay, yeah, that I have mud wash over them due to all the rain. Yep, yeah, I'm not into off-roading. Yeah, I went down twice with a CB500X because of slippery mud. Ooh, interesting. Yeah. So what am I doing there? I don't want to pour that in there. Yeah, riding in the mud's a little bit tricky. Thankfully, a lot of the roads that I'm encountering are all paved, but like sections like you're talking about, Kevin, washed out, with the mud, water runs down. Yeah, it's a great question. How does Cebu smell? Hawaii smells good. Thai smells good. I've heard a few negative comments about the Philippines. My friend said Bali stinks like burning plastic, so I'm not bashing. Yes, great point. And I've heard other people talk to me about this as well, that it stinks. It smells like sewage. I have guy nose, I don't smell. I mean, I smell okay, but not as good as probably most people. So it doesn't necessarily bother me, but I have had people, Kevin, walking around with him. He's like, dude, it smells like freaking pollution and exhaust. So I don't notice it. So even when I'm in the provinces, I mean, I do notice the fresher air when I'm out in the provinces. But as far as Cebu City, yeah, I think you kind of get used to it too. And it depends on where you're at. There's certain sections that are a lot more fragrant than others. In my particular area, in the business park, in the IT park, I don't really notice it as much, but I have heard that comment before. Yeah. Project X, if you want from Western lifestyle, you need 2,500 to 3,500. Yep. It depends on where you're at, Jack, but yeah, I think that's a safe budget. I would drop it down a little bit between 2,000 and 3,000. When I first moved out here, I was a single man by myself, living in a studio in the business park. Man, I was spending 1,700. I wasn't traveling. I kept my expenses kind of down. I ate out 3 meals a day. I was spending around 1,700. But man, if you're out in the provinces, I think it's hard to spend 2,000. Get yourself a place for, whatever, $100 a month, dude, you can't spend $2,000 out there. You know, there's no coffee shops, there's none of that crap, right? So your home cooked meals, that kind of deal, you can live cheap here, gentlemen. It's just a question of whether you want to, but yeah. Did you go? I have not been over there to look at those yet. I probably won't. I mean, I will, but it might be down the road because I'm really, like I said, I'm booked here through February, so I'm just not in a space where anything Cebu. But it is on my radar, and it could be where I would get a place once I'm done here as a base because they're inexpensive, and I don't mind the location so much. I'm used to living here, right? So I could see looking at those down the road, and I will, but I haven't recently. I've learned that there is, I learned there is a maintenance budget and a maintenance budget and a move-in budget. Oh yeah, I need to save for the move-in cost, furniture, appliances, clothes, vehicles, etc. Yeah, a lot of places, Anthony, though, will be furnished, especially if you're looking at condos here in Cebu City. They'll have everything, TVs and everything. Now, in the province where I'm at, they don't even have a freaking AC on the wall, so you have to buy all that. But here in the city, all that stuff should be included. Yeah. For me, everything is free, but it costs my wife a lot. Yeah, I'm thinking about yeah, dude, that's a lot of money. Dude, I don't know if you could spend $7K. Maybe in BGC and Makati, maybe. But everywhere else, man, dude, you would have a hard time spending that. Chris would be over $3K for sure with all of his travel, but I must have been off on that. I gotta look. So I pull out 100,000 and I don't go through that a month, right? So 100,000 US is convert. Yeah, so 100,000 US, that's just under $2,000, gentlemen. So it's like 1,700. And then my rent is 30,000. Let's just say 35. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's 600. So let's see here. 1 second. So 600 plus 1,700 equals 2,300. So that's 2,300 if I spent, and I don't, if I spend 100,000 a month on my expenses and then with my rent, that's 2,300. So I'm not spending that much. Yeah, so it's close. It's right around 3,000. It's right around I'd say between 2,000 and 2,500 is what I spend on that kind of stuff. But it can get a lot more expensive. Dating and stuff like that can get quite expensive. But if you're here by yourself, man, it's cheap. You can live really cheap. What do you dude, I like the CF Moto 450. Love that bike. There's a couple of things though that are big red flags for me. Number one, dealership. There is not one here in Cebu City. There's a shop that sells them, but technically it's not a CF Moto dealership. So trying to get a dealer to work on that is a big concern for me. So the other thing about that bike that concerns me is it's new. So what's its reliability? I mean, it looks like it's good, but what's the reliability on that bike? I'm really, really kind of concerned about that. Another thing I don't like about the bike is its snatchy throttle down low. Like it's really snatchy. It doesn't perform well at lower speeds. That concerns me, especially the riding here in the Philippines where you need a bike that's good at slow speed maneuvers. So those are my big concerns. But the Moto, the 2-cylinder, the 280-degree crank, I mean, the sound of that engine and the feel and the performance, man, it sounds good. I bet it feels good. The other thing that I'm hearing about that bike is it's got a light front end, so it doesn't really steer really well. Like the Himalayan, the 450 Himalayan, is more planted on pavement and off the pavement. So I think they've got some things to work with on that bike, like the Himalayan 450. I think the second version of that bike will be better. I think that'll be the bike to buy because then also too, you're getting the reliability and all those other factors are going to come out. But I think it's a phenomenal machine. And if there was a dealership here and there was a second version of that out, I would buy it like that. That 2-cylinder and then the crank combined, man, that is a bike I would love to have. Love to have. But to me, there's some big red flags yet where I would lean more towards a different Honda NX500. Just being here in the Philippines. Yeah, I just, I don't want to comment too much on other vloggers and stuff like that. They're all doing their own deal, and to each their own, right? To each their own. To me, it really doesn't benefit me at all to kind of comment on what other guys are doing, but whatever. I wish everyone the best of luck in what they're up to. Yep. I really think I'll be coming for my first trip November for 14 days. All right, good. Just be ready. 14 days is a little bit of a short trip. I would try to stay longer if you can. I understand with vacation times in the West, you might not be able to, but 2-week vacation, 2-week times here can be a little bit short. I wouldn't try to plan to see a bunch of stuff, that Western way of like, hey, I'm going to go here, 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 here. Allow yourself some time. It's going to take, several days to really kind of get used to the time zone and jet lag. So, with 14 days, I would, come to Cebu and chill out here and then do a trip over to Bohol. It's really easy to do. I've done a recent video on kind of the perfect touristy day. That's all I would do, right? Is come here, chill out here, get grounded, get rested, maybe go over to Bohol for a week, 5 days, 6 days, come back and then fly out, right? That's how I would work that trip. But yeah, good for you, brother. Good for you. Yeah. Yeah. Project 5 to 7K and you can live very good BGC. Yep. Absolutely. Yes. Good morning. Shout out from Rockwell Security. What's up, man? Are you here in the building? I'll see you just in an hour. I'll be down. Yeah, man. Thanks. The guys here, man. These guys here are awesome, man. I dig the guys here in the building. They're just really, really good dudes, man. Shout out to you, man. If that's who I think you are. Yeah. What's my training time today? I train today, at 10. So I've got a little bit of time. Yeah. I will probably wrap it up here soon. I usually go around 2 hours. We'll be looking for Syrian meals and old folks gym to provide what's left. A pool is a must. Yeah. I don't really use the pool as much as I need to. Yeah. I don't really need to use the pool as much as I need to. Listen to Kevin. All right. What did Kevin say? Oh my gosh, I miss it. What did Kevin say? Was he again? A smaller CC motorcycle was cement. Yeah, he went down twice in slippery mode. Yes, I understand. I know you hate that bike. It's just, oh my gosh. There's so many. I would love, so the Himalayan 450 I do. Morton, I think 2026 is the year to buy that bike, and I'll get that bike. I'll get that bike then. I want multiple bikes. I really do. I can see where I would have multiple bikes, especially if I start taking guys around. I'll need multiple bikes. So a Himalayan is a bike I'm going to get. I like the practical nature of that Himalayan. It's versatile. It can go anywhere. Just there's a couple of red flags to me that and the type of riding that I'm doing now, pavement, touring, I'm telling you, man, that and reliability, that 500X checks it off. Now, is it a street bike? It is, man. I don't deny that. I don't. It is. But that's the tool for the job I need right now. I need 4 hours in the saddle and I need luggage. Right? If you walk, don't drink, and don't rent women, and don't need medical care, you can probably thrive in the field of Vietnam. Yeah, no, I think you're probably pretty right on about that, especially if you get out of some of these expensive areas. Absolutely, you can, dude. If you lived in Ormoc, and in exactly what you're saying, heck yeah, man, heck yeah, all day long. Yeah, yep. Depends on the city. Yep. Easily. Absolutely. Yeah, I think the West girlfriend cost, I think in the West, a girlfriend is a general about 30-day or 1K a month. In Southeast Asia, half. Essentially a restaurant bill. Yeah, it just depends on the dating and the girl and that kind of deal. Sometimes it can be expensive. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. Mary Rose is easy in that area. Yeah, just depends. ECU or firmware update, rather. Yeah. So you talking on the CF Moto 450 where they got an update yet for that, for the snatchy throttle and the down low kind of performance? The lighter front end, though, to me is a big red flag. The Himalayan 450, I think, is better on the pavement and it's better off-road. It's just that engine, the 2-cylinder engine on that CF Moto 450 is what the rave is, and I get it, man. That is an engine I would love to have. Love to have that. Canine Capen, you probably won't have trouble finding the on the meals you're looking for. You have to cook for yourself. Yep. Yes, brother Kevin. Hours later, and you're still on. Yeah, I'm about ready to wrap it up. I got to go to the gym in a little bit. What do you think of the long-term plan we talked about? Brother, I think you're right on, and I'm excited for you. You know, I talked about you earlier in the live, how you kind of came out and you're setting a plan to kind of get things going. No, you're right on, brother. You are right on. And then, periodically coming back out here to kind of, refresh and just kind of check in and stuff. I think you are in where you need to be. So good for you, brother. Amen. I'm excited for you. I am excited for you to come back out. We'll do some rides when you get back out. What's the interstate CC requirement around Manila? Is it 400 or higher? It needs to be, yes, 400 or higher. But I do think that 390 adventure qualifies. So yes, 400 or higher is that CC requirement. All right, gentlemen, I'm caught up in the comments. 2 hours. I do have a training session here in a little bit that I got to prep for. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Ampin, salamat. See you soon.